Hello everybody, Iain Robson here for an episode of Landwerhkanal. Hey, we have a couple things going on today. I don't know what that start was all about, but I don't know. Must have been playing Minecraft too much or something. Anyhow, like I said, we do have a couple things going on. First of all, just want to apologize for last episode. Totally brain farted. The actual wholesale meat market's actually down by here. I don't know why. I totally have been there before, and I just totally like I said, drop the ball on that one. So I have discovered where it is, and let me just show you where it is here. So I have, let me just grab the rest of these last two pigs here while I can. I'm pretty sure I can just drive through here, and it should pick up the last two, I think. Oh, there it goes. Anyways, alright, so let's go. I'll show you where it is. As you can see, I recorded a course to where it actually is, because if I don't do it this way, I'll never remember, undoubtedly. Anyways, this is one of those situations on this map. The way it works is you buy X number of pigs and then you get offspring. I guess that's the way it works. It's one of those situations again. Anyhow, so this guy, I set on Courseplay, so he's just going to drive there automatically. And the funny thing about it is, I'll show you when we get closer to it, but it's kind of interesting the way it works. Anyways, a couple people wanted some shoutouts, and while we're driving there, I figured we might as well do that right now. Philip asked for a shoutout, and he wants me to do some silage. So he was the person who mentioned about doing some silage. Don't have any to do at the moment. We actually don't need any, but we probably will need some in the near future. Clayton asks about, I mentioned I don't know what they question. The question's about where the dealership was, where I saw some of the equipment, and I can't remember off the top of my head, so sorry about that, Clayton. I'm the farmer gamer boy Andy, who doesn't watch this series anyways, so this doesn't make any difference apparently. Maybe he'll watch this one, who knows. But he was saying there's no such thing as a 16-row corn header. As an 18-row corn header, or a 16-row, but not 18, so. Craig says, good video as always. And there you go, Craig, there's your shout out. Kevin Lundsvist, I think you pronounce his last name as. He asks about Andy's channel. And the person responded in the comments, which is always good. Alex wants a shout out for his AS farming channel. Honestly, I haven't checked that out, but there you go. And Bryce wanted a shout out as well. He wanted me to say something. I told my girlfriend about it, and she was like, maybe it's not a good idea to say that. So there you go, Bryce. There's your shout out. Sorry I couldn't say exactly what you're asking for. Maybe next time, though. Anyways, those are so many people who wanted some shout outs from the previous episode, which is always fun. So here we are, coming down to the docks right here. Perfect timing, actually. As you can see, we only have 13 pigs, which is fine. But this is where the actual place is. I've been here before, and that's why I was a little annoyed with myself, because I thought I knew exactly where it was, and as you can see, I didn't. Or as you saw last episode, I did not know where it was. One of the downfalls of German maps, I think. I had the same problem. This one does have. It does have. Check this out. This is one of the cool things before. It does have signs in this map, but it's not always obvious where. It's not a sign for everything. Okay, so here's just the regular part. There's actually a couple cool little things. So there you go. That's the New Holland doing its thing. Now watch this. So this is part of the new version of Courseplay, developer version of Courseplay. So see that? He's actually backing up. You could do this with the previous version, but the way it works now is all you have to do is, if you watch David Oldfield's videos, he did this before as well. The way it works is you actually unhook the trailer, and you don't use the trailer to do this. You actually just back up the tractor into where you want it to go, and then Courseplay will detect where you want it to go, and it'll adjust the trailer manually, or automatically, I should say. I thought that was pretty cool. Also, look at that thing. That thing was pretty cool. The docks actually has a working crane, I guess you'd call it. But check this out. Look how far back this guy has to go. So let me just get back here in the pig pen here. So that's one of the coolest features of the newest Courseplay that they added. So places like this where it doesn't have a just a drive-through scenario, you can do this. And look at that. All I did was back up the tractor, centered in there basically, just so it would have space. And look at that. That's all Courseplay doing that. How cool is that? There you go. He did a little bit of a last little thing there, and he's going to. That's the unload feature. And they're going to start disappearing. We'll get a little bit of money. It's about $200 a pig. It works out to be, or maybe it's about $250 a pig, something in that area. And then he's gonna return back. How cool is that? That's all Courseplay doing that backing up feature there. I just think that's the coolest thing. Anyways, what's this guy set to? Why is he not driving on? Oh, that's why. Alright, we'll do our best to unload the rest of this combine here. But that's what the new Courseplay can do. I just thought that was one of the pretty nifty features that they added to the developer version of Courseplay. So there you go. Anyways, this guy's full. Let's set him to drive his course now. That combine will continue on for the time being. I guess I could do the combining. If that's the case, we should probably do this. There we go. And we're going to need that up, so we'll just request the driver. Or, oh, that's fine. We'll request the driver. And we're not full. Why did that stop? No, that's weird. That's a bit wider than it should be. Guess I'll have to manually set up the GPS. This is what happens. Alright. No, that's not the offset. I want 0 offset, and I want the working with. There we go. Let's set it to, I think it says somewhere, 8. Let's set it to 7.5 should do it. There we go. Anyways. My blinkers are on, apparently. There we go. Anyways, let's request that John Deere. Hopefully it gets back here soon. It might actually be faster if I do the unloading, because this guy's going to get full really fast, really quickly. I don't know why this does this like this, but it just seems to be the case where it doesn't take much for it to be to fill up here. I don't know what it is. Anyways, we don't need this guy doing this course anymore. Don't have any pigs left to sell, but that's what the new Courseplay can do now. Just to give you an idea, so it is pretty sweet, if I do say so myself. I know David Oldfield's used it a couple times to do some cool things on Birchwood, I think it was, and Old Brook as well. So pretty cool stuff. All right, where am I going to put this now? I know space for all this stuff now. And I think the other the contractor place might be a good place for this, but that's way out of my way, and the pigs definitely aren't there. So let's put this maybe behind the pigs over here somewhere. I guess we could do it right behind the seeds here, and the fertilizer. There we go. Oops. Apparently I didn't turn quite enough. There we go. It'd be crazy if you could do this in real life. I mean, in the sense that you could see that far, but I guess nowadays what they have is cameras that can do that, right? That will allow you to do that type of thing, I suppose. Perfect. There we go. Nice. So let's put this guy away for the time being because we don't need him. Put him right here by the straw chopper. Our animals seem to be good for the time being, which is excellent. And I think I shall continue doing the harvesting. There we go. Just so we don't miss any. Yeah, I guess we do it this way. Might as well get the last little bit here. Nice. Yeah, when I was in that class Lexion 760 Terra track, it looked very similar to this. I had the little buddy seat here. Not the buddy seat. They call it a trainee seat, basically, so someone can learn how to use the machine, essentially. But it was very similar to this. The big thing that a lot of companies change is the visibility and whatnot. I know in New Holland, a while back, they had I think I was watching on YouTube, they had what do you call it, a media day, essentially. One of the guys I follow on YouTube, he went and did a media day with New Holland, and they were showing their cab and the way it looked. So it was pretty cool. Oops, totally hit the wrong button there. It was pretty cool to see what they had set up there. So I thought it was pretty interesting, actually. Doesn't happen very often that you get to see inside one of the brand new combines. So he actually got in with one of the reps, the New Holland reps, and he was showed around, so I thought that was pretty cool. Or I should say, he was shown around. Ugh, can't believe I just made that mistake. Anyways, yeah, it was pretty interesting. It looked very similar, but one of the things they were talking about was the visibility and how important it is, basically, when you're, one of the drivers. And one of the other things they talked about a lot was driver comfort, because if you're in the cab for, I don't know how many hours, but if you're in the cab for a long time, let's say, you definitely want that comfort, or as much comfort as possible. And that was one of the things they talked about a lot, because it's important. Because if you want to, one of the things they want to try and do, of course, is reduce driver fatigue. Because if you can stay in the cab longer without getting tired and whatnot, that's going to be better for you, because you're not going to be losing money in the sense of not being able to drive your combine, essentially. I wish that screen right there showed me how much material, but I guess the lights will go off and I'll hear beeps and stuff like that. But it'd be nice to see if it actually showed, the fill level right there, so I wouldn't have to do anything else. I wouldn't have to have the extra information on, but it's never the case, right? You can always look behind you. As you can see, that's a lot of material going through. I don't know. It seems like it's a bit excessive. Just saying. I don't think you'd actually get that much material that fast, but apparently we are. So we're at 60% already. There we go. We'll just turn around up here. Let's lift the head here. Yeah, it's that's for a lot of things. A lot of the manufacturers these days are focusing on those types of things, like driver comfort and driver fatigue and stuff like that. Just because the people who can afford those big combines are the ones who are going to be in the field for a long time, right? And you want to make sure that they're able to be as efficient as possible for as long as possible when they are, driving their combine, essentially. So, and they're not cheap, that's for sure. So if you're going to pay like $500,000 for a combine, you better make sure it's darn comfortable. That's that's on the high side, of course, $500,000, but but it is, it definitely is possible to pay that amount, or like between $200,000 and $500,000 easily for a combine. So that's like, think about it this way. It's like in the territory of a Lamborghini, just to give you an idea. Which blows my mind a little bit when there's farmers paying that much for equipment. It's not just like that tractor is $100,000, this combine's $250,000 to $350,000, like stuff like that. Like it all adds up, right? So it's just amazing when you think about that type of stuff, and the fact that farmers all around the world pay that much, and probably what it really boils down to is probably being in that much debt, unfortunately. Alright, there we go. Let's just turn around here again. The one thing I wish this thing had, and I think I've said it hundreds of times now, is I wish it had cameras. So then I would be able to, know where the edges were a bit better. As opposed to... Come on. Get up the hill. Jeez. What's going on here? Anyways, yeah, it's one of those things that Kind of throws me off every now and then. There we go. Just need some more juice apparently. First gear wasn't fast, it wasn't enough power, but second gear was. It's funny. I was watching One Only Farmer yesterday, I guess it was, and he was talking about one of the interesting things he was talking about was I guess it would be considered the tensile strength of twine for his baler, because he uses of course he uses a big baler, right? Big square baler. And he was using, I think it said 600-pound twine on his baler, basically, so he could pack the bales even tighter. And I haven't seen the update to how much they actually weigh, but he was guessing, you know, 1,500 pounds plus easily on that. But he bales his. One thing I kind of noticed, he bales his hay really wet, or high moisture, I should say, not necessarily wet, but a lot higher moisture than I would expect. And I don't know why he. I'm not sure why he bales it so high in moisture. I don't know. I'm sure he's answered that question more than once by people, but I'm just not sure why he bales at that high in moisture. So if you guys know why he bales at that high in moisture, let me know, because I'm pretty sure he's not making it into silage, which was what you would normally do with it, right? I guess. If it were like a high. If it were a high moisture content, you would you know, make it into silage. But in this case, I don't believe he is. He's just storing it. So I'm not sure the reasons why he's baling. And it's, of course, he doesn't live in Canada, so that's the difference too, right? There's always going to be that difference in terms of what works here versus what works there and whatnot. So I'm not sure the reasons for it, but I am kind of interested as to the reasons why he does that like that. So anyhow, nice. Yeah, and the other thing he was talking about, I think he did, like, he said he did about 50 bales, I think, and he had one of the bales using this 600-pound strength twine. He had one bale that wasn't done properly, and even then it wasn't like coming apart per se. It was just not what he wanted it to do, which is pretty incredible when you think about it. Because I guess he has a fairly large farm, and he's doing a lot of output, and which makes sense considering the equipment he's running, right? So it makes sense that he would want like high output like that. I'm just gonna leave that open actually, or out. But it makes sense. I don't know. Kind of blows my mind when you think about those types of things, when you're wondering about, you know, stuff like how much, like, you know, I think he said he picked up 2 new pieces of equipment this year. So he picked up, I believe, a speed rower, and he picked up a new baler, and, you know, those 2 items together, you know, easily with tax and everything, I imagine close to 500,000 at least, maybe. They look new, so I'm pretty sure they're both brand new. So it just gives you an idea. But I don't know. It's crazy. I suppose these days a lot of companies will accept stuff like collateral. So if you already own X number of acres of land, they'll accept that as collateral so you can purchase new products. Or I guess the other scenario would be if you have been farming on the same farm for years and years and years, and all the debt's paid off and whatnot. That's the other scenario, right? So, alright. It's taking us time here. How many liters of canola do we have now? Oops. Statistics. Where are we here? We have 100,000 liters of canola already. And we haven't even, we've done 1 field, that's it. I haven't even finished the 1 field yet. That is funny. Jeez. Anyways, I think I'm going to keep this episode a little bit shorter today. Just because it seems like people aren't digging the longer episodes, or aren't digging the series as much. So in light of that, I guess I'll shorten the episodes a wee bit. Let me know if you'd like me to continue. What's he doing? Jeez. If you'd like me to continue the same length of episodes, or if you prefer 20-minute episodes of these ones, I don't mind either way. But for this episode, I am going to cut it a bit short because it's going to be harvesting again. So I'll just leave it there for the time being. having said that, if you have any comments or questions, I don't know why that came to mind. That's what Randy says. Anyways, my name's Iain. Robson has been Farming Simulator 2013, coming at you from Landwerhkanal. Alright, catch you guys later.